Outrageous Chapter 68. Sang Won-si was tired from filming. After she finished speaking, she fell asleep quickly. Liu Jiwei heard her even, steady breathing. Contrasted against the quietness of the night, it was enough for her heart to be moved. Liu Jiwei could not fall asleep. Because Sang Won-si was beside her, and also because of that hold your hand. Liu Jiwei felt like she was in a pot of oil, slowly being cooked. She wanted to tell the person beside her I really like you, but she was too afraid to open her mouth. She was so cowardly that even with the existing relationship, she was happy. Was this how crushes were sour but satisfying? She turned to look at Sang Won-si. It was quiet. Are other people's crushes? Like mine, she did not have any experience in this matter, so she did not know if she was an oddball. Her brain started working overtime. Summer nights were long and she wasn't sleepy. She stayed awake till past 3 a.m. before she could force herself to sleep. So the next day, it was a rare occasion where she woke up later than Sang Won-si. It was past 9 a.m. Liu Jiwei was half awake when she heard someone calling her, Jiwei. That voice was familiar, sounding like Sang Won-si. She slowly woke up as she struggled to open her eyes. The sky outside was brightly lit, with the room filled with sunlight. Her eyes turned as her gaze landed on the person sitting by the side of the bed. Sang Won-si leaned over slightly, brushing aside Liu Jiwei's hair as she said softly, Jiwei, get up and eat breakfast. Liu Jiwei raised a hand to block the light, humming vaguely as her eyes stayed on Sang Won-si. Sang Won-si did not have makeup on, her face was clean and pure, her features looked exquisite. No matter which angle you looked from, she was stunningly beautiful. What a beautiful person! Liu Jiwei proclaimed again in her heart. She got up and asked about the time. After hearing Sang Won-si's answer, her eyes widened. I woke up late, I have not prepared breakfast for you. Because of her age, she was used to taking care of others. Besides, Sang Won-si was a guest, how could she let a guest go hungry in the morning? I have eaten. Sang Won-si smiled and lifted a hand, pressing it to her shoulder as she patted her reassuringly. I bought breakfast for you, come eat. Liu Jiwei would prepare breakfast for her if she got up early, she would also prepare breakfast for Liu Jiwei if she woke up early. No matter what kind of relationship it was, a long-lasting relationship would require both parties to put in effort. Liu Jiwei immediately looked confused. You bought breakfast for me? She reacted, you went out, you didn't get lost or get recognized, right? Sang Won-si's smile grew even deeper, I did not go out, I ordered in. She was not familiar with the neighborhood, how could she go out just like that? When she had stayed over a few more times and familiarized herself with the roads, then she could go out to buy Liu Jiwei breakfast herself. Liu Jiwei breathed a sigh of relief. It was all good as long as she didn't get lost or get into trouble. She finally got out of bed and washed up. Sitting at the table and eating breakfast, she suddenly felt a little stunned. It feels like this is how couples live. She bit into the skin of the bun, her gaze sneakily turning towards Sang Won-si, who was sitting on the couch and holding the violin. Then she quickly looked away, rejoicing secretly. She really liked how nicely Sang Won-si treated her. The weather was good today and the sun wasn't too harsh. There was even a breeze blowing in from time to time from the open balcony door. The whole neighborhood was quiet, as if everybody was enjoying the vacation lazily. Liu Jiwei ate her breakfast in peace and quiet. Sang Won-si was helping her tune the violin. She had bought it on Dobayo for just a couple $100. She didn't know anything about the materials and such. She found one with good reviews and an acceptable price and just bought it. Lu Zhao had said that after they started filming, the production crew would prepare instruments for them, so they didn't need to spend money. So she wanted to just buy a random one first and practice. Sang Wansi drew the bow across experimentally. The tone was delicate and light with a mellow pronunciation and a strong resonance. But it was naturally much poorer than the violin she had at home. Liu Jiwei watched her play the violin as she bit on the bun. This was Liu Jiwei's first time watching her play an instrument. The radiant sunlight streamed in from outside the balcony, landing on her body. She was bathed in light. Just the sight of her turning her head slightly to nestle the violin in the crook of her neck was already elegant beyond words. The scene was like a painting. Liu Jiwei even forgot to continue biting on her bun. Someone bought a violin but never even touched it even once. Someone looks so good just holding a violin, not to mention she looks so professional. She was willing to learn the violin for life just to see this teacher play. At this moment, Sang Wansi's phone rang, shattering the perfect scene. She put the violin down and picked up the phone from the coffee table. It was a call from Zhang Xianrui. Her fingertip slid across the screen, connecting the call. Sister Zhang. Liu Jiwei immediately turned her head away and picked up her own phone to indicate she had no intention to listen in on someone else's call. She looked for Wen Yao and asked about the plans for today's work. There was no topic to chat about but she had to force a topic. Wen Yao, there is no work today, Sister Jiwei, you just stay at home and rest. Wen Yao, oh right, if you have time then quickly practice the violin. Wen Yao, although Zhou Lingling was posting all that stuff on Weibo, but Director Lu did not say they are changing leads, so let us ignore her. Wen Yao, we will practice our own instrument. Liu Jiwei naturally also knew about Zhou Lingling's enigmatic post. She had followed many Shengyu artistes on her account, and as Shengyu's big sister, Zhou Lingling was naturally one of them even if she did not follow Liu Jiwei back. So she had been met with this strangeness face to face. When she saw that post, her mood was indeed very complicated. She had even mentally prepared herself to receive the news that she was going to be replaced. But Zhou Lingling did not do anything after posting the Weibo post. The world was peaceful and quiet, as if Zhou Lingling had posted that really just to ask which instrument she was more suited to. Since the opponent did not show her hand, Liu Jiwei could not do anything either. Luckily there was still Sang Wansi. At least Sang Wansi had said she would protect Liu Jiwei, who couldn't do anything. Liu Jiwei, don't worry, I know, I'll practice in a bit. Liu Jiwei, I've already even found a teacher. Wen Yao, good. Work hard. Wen Yao, oh right. Wen Yao, a variety show has invited you on. Liu Jiwei. Variety Wen Yao, more accurately, they're inviting you and Sang Wansi. Liu Jiwei. What sort of variety would invite her and Sang Wansi? Sang Wansi stood on the balcony, looking down at the plaza below. Hearing Zhang Xianrui's words, her eyebrows furrowed slightly, a friendship variety show. Zhang Xianrui sat on her chair with her legs crossed as her finger tapped on the desk. Yes, friendship variety show, called me and my friend. It specializes in filming artistes and their artiste friends' daily interactions. You also know, you and Liu Jiwei have been so popular online. It's normal to have this sort of variety show looking to invite you two on. How about it, do you want to consider it? Zhang Xianrui knew Sang Wansi's temper. If she arranged work for her without her approval, there was no other outcome other than Sang Wansi refusing to show up. So every time there was a new job, Zhang Xianrui would discuss with her first before deciding whether or not to take it up. Meng Lianyu had explained to Zhang Xianrui before. She said Sang Wansi had been frustrated by her father arranging all aspects of her life, so she hated other people making decisions on her behalf on how she should live. The good thing was that the child was not rebellious to the point of not doing any work at all. Meng Lianyu just asked Zhang Xianrui to accommodate her. Friendship variety. Sang Wansi repeated those words in her heart. Why is not it a dating variety show? Even if it was just acting, she also wanted to act as Liu Jiwei's girlfriend. Zhang Xianrui continued, the other guests have been invited too. I have taken a look, there aren't any that are on bad terms with us. Consider it, or you can consider it with Liu Jiwei. Let me know once you've made a decision, the other party is still waiting for me to call them back. Okay. Sang Wansi replied warmly. Then I will wait for you, I am hanging up first. Once she said that, the call dropped. Zhang Xianrui was so busy she had no time for small talk. On the other hand, Liu Jiwei was still texting Wen Yao. Liu Jiwei, me and my friend Liu Jiwei, I know this variety, I used to watch it. She felt this was a very mysterious show, it could also be called the heaven for CP fans. In this show, true friends would be invited, plastic friends too, and even same-sex CPs. The show knew how to make it heartwarming, but also dramatic. It all depends on who the director wanted to invite and how to do it. She used to watch this show while eating. Now in the blink of an eye, the show had invited her on. Life truly is like chess, every game is different. Wen Yao, consider it, I think it is not bad. Wen Yao, there are not many missions for the show, you and Sang Wansi are both a CP and real friends. It's definitely going to be easy interacting on the show, just take it as going there to take a break. Liu Jiwei twisted around to look at Sang Wansi, who had just finished her call. Liu Jiwei, okay, I will consider it. Let you know again. Wen Yao, let me know quickly. Putting down the phone, Liu Jiwei quickly finished her breakfast. She packed the rubbish up and wiped her hands, then walked over to Sang Wansi. Sang Wansi glanced at her, then started speaking. Jiwei, there's a friendship variety. Liu Jiwei continued, me and my friend you know about it too. Sang Wansi I paused, then asked, I just found out. Do you want to go? Liu Jiwei scratched her head, I am fine with anything, it is just filming our daily interactions anyway, it's not too tiring. Suddenly, her gaze moved to the violin and she thought about it, if you are willing to go, does that mean there's a bit more time for you to teach me the violin? Me and my friend focused on the daily interaction between friends as the main focus, with the missions as a support. Then her recent interactions with Sang Wansi would probably be about the violin. Sang Wansi had more work than her, so after this period of rest, she wouldn't be able to teach her every day. But if the two of them were to attend this variety show, then would not they have more time together and more time to learn the violin? Sang Wansi I nodded. Then Liu Jiwei looked at her carefully and with anticipation. Let's go, just take it as taking a break in a different place. Sang Wansi suddenly smiled lightly at her actions. If Jiwei goes, I will go. It would be best if they arranged a romance variety show for them too. She did not like attending variety shows outside of when she had to promote her work in the past. But it was different now. She needed more opportunities to spend time with Liu Jiwei. Seeing her smile, Liu Jiwei's treacherous heart squeezed. Despicable, how could someone be so good-looking just by smiling? Liu Jiwei's ears were red as she quickly averted her eyes, turning to find her phone as she stammered, then I will go ask my manager who the other guests are. Sang Wanci smiled as she watched Liu Jiwei jog away with a red face. Okay, tell me after you find out. Liu Jiwei started frantically typing on the screen, trying to distract herself in case her red face revealed her true emotions. Liu Jiwei, who are the other guests? Liu Jiwei, are there any people who don't get along with Wanci? Liu Jiwei, are there any people who are famous for not having a good temper? Liu Jiwei, Yao Yao, reply me quickly. Wen Yao was inundated by messages once she unlocked her phone. She quickly reassured Liu Jiwei, don't stress, I will go ask now. After 15 minutes, Wen Yao came back with a name list. All of them were guests that had been confirmed. They were the last pair that had been invited. If they did not agree to attend, the show producers would continue to look for others. Liu Jiwei's eyes scanned the list like a scanner machine. Then she let Sang Wanci take a look. Wanci, see if there's anybody you do not like. Sang Wanci not have many people she did not like, there were far more people who liked her than who disliked her. She did not like stirring up trouble in the first place, and she would not participate in messy affairs. If she saw someone who didn't like her, she would pretend she couldn't see them. Fighting with them was just a waste of time. Besides, Zhang Xianrui had said there were none, so there definitely would not be any. So she took a cursory glance and said, none. Then Liu Jiwei asked, then do you have any friends you know there? Maybe you guys can be on a variety show together. Sang Wanci replied, there are some I know, but we're not friends. I have just met them and greeted them before. Liu Jiwei nodded. Sang Wanci asked, what about you? Liu Jiwei pointed to a name, I know this person. Sang Wanci looked down. Jin Manwen. Jin Manwen. Sang Wanci had no impression of her, she only remembered people that she acted with. It sounds like it was a woman's name. Liu Jiwei's new friend or a special person. Sang Wanci suddenly felt a bit concerned. Liu Jiwei did not know anything about how she was feeling, lowering her head and typing away. Since there were not any enemies, and she could spend more time with the person she liked, of course she had to go. After she finished replying Wen Yao, she set the phone down and turned to take the violin, standing up. Come on teacher Sang, let us start practicing. What is the first step? Holding the violin and drawing the bow. Sang Wanci looked at her slowly. First, let us start by understanding how the violin is constructed. Liu Jiwei immediately handed the violin over respectfully and sat beside her, listening to the explanation. After talking about the parts of the violin, then it was time to practice holding the violin and the bow. There was a full-length mirror in the master bedroom. Liu Jiwei happily took the violin and stood in front of the mirror, copying Sang Wanci's pose when holding the violin just now. But no matter how she did it, it didn't feel right. There was not the same sense of elegance as Sang Wanci, or the same calmness. Is this correct? How about this? She stood in front of the mirror and corrected her stance seriously. The person behind her did not speak. She was about to turn around to take a look when two hands stretched out from behind her, gently supporting her arm. Sang Wanci's smell wafted towards her from behind, as her voice gently landed in her ear. Don't hold the violin too high or too low. When you support the violin, your body and the violin's head should form an angle. It is good enough to raise your hand up naturally to grasp it. You do not have to hold it too straight, the angle varies from person to person. Right, that's it. Jiwei's doing very well. Their bodies were very close together, with their fingers touching. Sang Wanci's voice and breath landed right on her ear. The warmth, the ambiguity, it was exciting and irresistible. Liu Jiwei's heart started thumping faster. She had completely lost the ability to speak, standing in front of the mirror and letting the person behind her move her body. Was this holding her hand? This was too much. But more please, she could take it. Liu Jiwei was feeling both shy and happy. Then, Sang Wanxi's hand landed on her waist, drawing her into a hug. A gentle voice brushed past her pink ear, as if they were having a secret conversation. Jiwei, who's Jin Man Wen? Liu Jiwei paused, looking woodenly at the person in the mirror. Wait, how did the topic change to his? Sang Wanxi's eyes stayed locked on Liu Jiwei's through the mirror, making her unable to escape. Tell me, sister. Because of that form of address, Liu Jiwei's heart beat even faster. Each heartbeat was passionately announcing her liking for Sang Wanxi. She suddenly felt like her mouth was dry. She opened her mouth and then dumbly said, "Why are you asking this all of a sudden? I'm afraid sister will be deceived." Primarily it was because she was scared Liu Jiwei would be deceived away. She said it seriously with a trace of pitifulness and a straight face, as if she really was only a younger sister who cared about her sister. Hearing it, Liu Jiwei honestly said, "She's the third supporting female lead in that show. She was there at director Lu's meeting too. She's quite friendly and polite. She said she's seen my work before and that she likes me." Hearing the two words "likes me," Sang Wanxi's eyebrows furrowed imperceptibly. Liu Jiwei had her head tilted as she looked at the violin, so she did not notice it. But she continued to explain, "But we're just acquaintances, and we know of each other's existence. After that meeting, we never met again and we don't have each other's contact method." She probably won't deceive me. Acquaintances, never met again, do not have each other's contact method. It looks like they are really not familiar with each other. Sang Wanxi's expression relaxed. Probably. Let us continue practicing. I will teach you how to hold the bow, then I will teach you some other basics later." "Oh, okay teacher Sang." Liu Jiwei refocused her attention on practicing. After Liu Jiwei and Sang Wanxi agreed to attend me and my friend, the production crew quickly determined an ideal filming period according to everybody's schedule the second half of August. Sang Wanxi's schedule became very simple because of it. She rested at Liu Jiwei's house for a week, then continued working after she left. When the time comes, she would meet with Liu Jiwei again and film the variety show together. Liu Jiwei was not idling at home before that. If she did not have work, she would stay at home and practice the violin. Sang Wanxi asked her to practice holding the violin and pretend to draw the bow, but in the end, just practicing holding the violin took the better part of half a month. She suddenly understood why Lu Zhao had asked them to start practicing so early. At the same time, she felt that Sang Wanxi, who knew how to play so many instruments, was really terrifying. It seems like as long as she is willing, it is really not a problem to be the best pianist in the world. The most abundant, and fastest consumed, thing on earth is time. In the blink of an eye, it was the second half of August. Liu Jiwei packed her luggage and set out for the filming set with Wen Yao. Me and my friend usually filmed at a hotel that sponsored the show, or a bed and breakfast. This time, they were going to a small town in the countryside. The scenery and green mountains were pleasant and clean, and the folk customs were simple with the people there living a leisurely, slow-paced life. The show invited a total of 3 pairs of guests. When everybody arrived, the show would arrange for everybody to sit in a rented car and head out together, with filming beginning then. At that location, each pair would stay in a house by themselves with no need to squeeze together. Sang Wansi arrived earlier than Liu Jiwei. When Liu Jiwei arrived and saw her back, she immediately abandoned Wen Yao. One hand pulling her luggage and the other holding onto the violin case, she ran over to Sang Wansi with a huge smile. Wansi. Hearing that, Sang Wansi put down her phone and looked back, seeing Liu Jiwei smiling and running towards her. Her smile was forever so clean and pure, like a rainbow after the rain. It could always make a person's mood better. Sang Wansi could not help but smile, walking forward and helping her take the violin case. You've worked hard. People who didn't know would think that Liu Jiwei was helping her carry her violin. Liu Jiwei laughed. What hard work? There is no hard work. Why are you here so early? I had a shoot for a magazine cover today, it wrapped up fast so I came over earlier. Oh, so that is it. Our teacher Sang's work ability truly is the best. Our teacher Liu too. Wen Yao. Things were going fine, why did the two of them suddenly start praising each other at this moment? Liu Jiwei suddenly heard someone calling her from behind. The two of them stopped walking and turned back. To see a short-haired, smiling girl excitedly waving towards them. Sang Wansi turned to look at Liu Jiwei. You played around with someone else outside behind my back. Liu Jiwei turned to look at her, immediately explaining, she is Jin Manwen. Jin Manwen was wearing a white pair of canvas shoes and pulling her luggage as she quickly ran over to Liu Jiwei. Teacher Liu, what a coincidence, we meet again. I didn't think I'd be able to be on the same show as you this time, that's great. Liu Jiwei did not understand. What is so great? Sang Wansi. There is something wrong with this Jin Manwen. Liu Jiwei did not give Jin Manwen the chance to ignore Sang Wansi, taking the initiative to introduce them. This is... Jin Manwen interrupted her, smiling, I know, Sang Wansi, her godly looks are always on the hot search, it's hard to not know who she is. She stretched a hand out, hello teacher Sang, I am Jin Manwen, I'm working together with Jiwei in my next show. This sudden change in how she addressed Liu Jiwei. Sang Wansi felt even more strongly that there was something wrong, but she did not show it on her face, keeping a calm expression as she shook her hand, hello. This was considered having greeted her. Jin Manwen immediately turned to continue talking to Liu Jiwei. Jiwei, I went to watch the acting lessons you recommended last time, it is really good. It truly is teacher Meng, she spoke concisely and hit the nail on the head, amazing. I immediately became a fan. Having your idol being praised was like having found a common topic. Liu Jiwei's impression of Jin Manwen immediately improved, right, I said it really was useful. Our teacher Meng is a senior, so she definitely knows more than us. As she was speaking, her hand was placed on Sang Wansi's arm, squeezing lightly as if reassuring her. So Sang Wansi listened calmly. Jin Manwen didn't see the small action between them. She pulled out her phone and said, you left so quickly the last time, I did not get to add your contact. She widened her eyes and acted pitiful, so can I have your contact this time? I really want to be friends with you. Liu Jiwei did not think too much about it, okay. Adding a contact and making a friend, what's the problem? She did not expect that as soon as she said it, Jin Manwen suddenly jumped forward and threw her arms around her neck. She was shocked. Jin Manwen was cheering, thank you, Jiwei, you are too good. Watching this, alarms were going off in Sang Wansi's mind. In an instant, she knew why she felt like there was something wrong with Jin Manwen. This was her love rival. Hugging Liu Jiwei, Jin Manwen was satisfied. After letting go of her, she turned and saw Sang Wansi. She did not forget to smile at Sang Wansi and say, "Teacher Sang, you didn't join in the conversation earlier, didn't Jiwei tell you about Teacher Meng's class? It is really very well said, you can take a look too when you have time." Sang Wansi's heart felt even more uncomfortable. She didn't tell her, after all, someone had been hiding her fan identity from her in the past. As for watching it, that was even more unnecessary. She had always been learning personally from Teacher Meng. Lu Jiwei. Why did you say this to her face? What if she hangs me up from the roof later and interrogates me? Lu Jiwei was scared by Jin Manwen's words and was about to save the situation when she heard Sang Wansi say, okay. Lu Jiwei. Sang Wansi pulled Lu Jiwei to her side, "When we get there, I will let her watch it with me." Jin Manwen. Sang Wansi looked at Lu Jiwei, "I do not know what are the important points. With Jiwei around, she can tell me all of them one by one." Then she looked at Jin Manwen and smiled calmly, "This way, it is more convenient to learn." Jin Manwen. Fuck, did I meet a rival? Outrageous Chapter 69. Although Jin Manwen was so angry it felt like her heart was about to burst, she still had to keep a slight smile on her face. She did not expect it, Sang Wansi was actually someone like this. She looked like she was a calm person with a heart that was like still water, but nobody could actually match up to her when she was being a green tea. Sang Wansi had severely impacted her plan to get close to Lu Jiwei. Yes, she liked Lu Jiwei. She had liked her at first sight. She remembered when it happened, it was when the pre-teaser for Phoenix had aired. Lu Jiwei didn't have many scenes, but none of them were extraneous. Especially during the scene when she had worn the female lead's costume and got her shoulder pierced by the spear, but her eyes were fearless and unyielding. It couldn't be said that she was incredibly pretty, but Jin Manwen had to admit Lu Jiwei was truly attractive in that scene. That sense of beauty of someone who wasn't scared to die, it was like she was carrying a blood-red rose, beautiful and eye-catching. It was at that moment that she had fallen for the still unknown Lu Jiwei. Then, she went to check out Lu Jiwei's interviews and Weibo, realizing that Lu Jiwei was someone who had an extremely warm heart. Although she didn't have many fans, but she had never given up or been dismayed. It was clear she was very optimistic from her replies to her fans, like a positive sun. A person like this was naturally attractive to others. Just like how every creature was naturally drawn to the sun, wanting to soak up every ray of sunlight. Jin Manwen had been moved, but she had thought that they might not have any chance to meet in this lifetime. So she was both envious and jealous of Sang Wansi. She wanted to stay by Lu Jiwei's side like her and form a CP with Lu Jiwei, meeting Lu Jiwei whenever she wanted. But she had never expected the chance to get to know Lu Jiwei came just like that. They had been selected by the same director, and they had been invited onto the same variety show. This was as if it was fated by heaven. How could she give up this chance and not try to woo Lu Jiwei? The first step of chasing after someone was, of course, to first use something the other person likes to get close to them, then address them informally and get their number. Only, she hadn't expected Sang Wansi to be a hurdle. And such a big hurdle. Jin Manwen looked at Sang Wansi. Her mood could be summed up in an expression sticker, I didn't think you were someone like this. JPG. She felt like Sang Wansi must have misunderstood. She wanted to chase after Liu Jiwei. Sang Wansi could have misunderstood that she wanted to be best friends with Liu Jiwei, misunderstood that she was going to snatch Liu Jiwei away. That could be possible. Liu Jiwei and Sang Wansi's relationship was too good. The only person who could fight with Sang Wansi right now would probably be Ying Xize. So to get Liu Jiwei, the only way was probably to disrupt their relationship, then take advantage and win her over. Besides, it would not be safe to have someone as pretty as Sang Wansi spending so much time with a girlfriend. Her looks were too attractive to resist. Aside from Jin Manwen, her heart was already taken by Liu Jiwei. Thank you. Sang Wansi's eyes stared at Jin Manwen calmly as she slowly tightened her grip on Liu Jiwei's hand. She did not know what the person in front of her was thinking, or what her intentions were. But no matter what, she wouldn't let anybody have a chance to take Liu Jiwei away from her. Caught in the middle, Liu Jiwei was confused, feeling it was strange. What was going on with this sudden, hostile atmosphere? Why did they both suddenly start wanting to fight? Jin Manwen's manager called for her from far away. The tense atmosphere immediately dissolved. Jin Manwen turned back and replied, "What is it?" Her manager said, "Your friend is here, you need to go pick her up." Jin Manwen, "Oh, okay, coming. Then I will see you later, bye bye." Jin Manwen smiled sweetly at Liu Jiwei. Liu Jiwei wasn't very familiar with her, replying politely, "Okay, see you later Miss Jin." Jin Manwen didn't like that she was being so formal with her, but thinking about it, they had only met twice now and they still weren't familiar with each other. If Liu Jiwei acted very close to her now, it would appear frivolous. Forget it, there was time anyway, she could take it slow. Jin Manwen left, ending this interlude. Wen Yao said she had to speak to the production crew about something, so she left first, leaving the two of them there. Sang Wansi had not let go of Liu Jiwei's hand yet. Liu Jiwei did not try to take her hand back either. The two of them stood next to each other, hand in hand, as if they were a couple who were about to leave for a vacation. "What is wrong?" Liu Jiwei looked at Sang Wansi, her eyes and heart filled only with the other woman. "It feels like she wants to snatch you away," Sang Wansi said honestly. "I do not like it." It was different from Ying Xize, who purely treated Liu Jiwei as a friend and as an elder sister. Jin Manwen's gaze was heated, making her feel threatened. But her Jiwei wasn't very smart or intuitive when it came to feelings, so she couldn't feel it. Hearing her say that, Liu Jiwei was actually very happy. She knew Sang Wansi treated her as a friend, but this was going beyond normal friends, putting her in an important position. A position where she would get jealous at even the slightest bit of covetousness from someone else. Jealousy was not patented by love. And looking at it, the two of them might still be possible. Maybe one day, Sang Wansi would like her too. She rejoiced in her heart, looking at Sang Wansi's face with her eyes shining brightly, hiding her careful hope. Then, her eyes curved into crescents. "Do not worry, she can't snatch me away." Liu Jiwei's voice was gentle, as if she was coaxing Sang Wansi. "You're different from her." Sang Wansi's eyelashes fluttered as she turned to look at Liu Jiwei. "Where's the difference? Tell me, Jiwei. Please tell me how important I am to you." "Everything's different. You're the first person who showed me kindness, you're my first friend, you're the first person to accompany me over the new year, and you're the first person to wish me happy birthday. So Teacher Meng is a ray of light to me, but you're also a ray of light to me. A very, very warm light. One of them had changed the trajectory of her life. One of them had given her warmth that she had never thought she would be able to get. To her, they were different, yet alike. So if Sangwon-si was so special, how could someone else easily compare? Sangwon-si immediately felt better. No matter what sort of emotion it was, there was a system of first come first served. Just based on these, Jin Man-wen, who had come later, wasn't her opponent. She was Liu Jiwei's right time, right place, right person. The two of them turned and walked towards the production crew, chatting as they went. Next time, do not let Jin Man-wen hug you. Being like this when you two are not close, she's not too polite. I got it, I suddenly thought of something. I do not think you are my first friend, it's Xiao Ying. But you are my best friend, the first and the last. Then that is good. Liu Jiwei could not help but laugh at this person who was so easy to coax. Sangwon-si, too adorable. After bidding farewell to their managers, the three pairs of guests each got into their own rented car and the filming officially started. There were a few cards in the car, the guests could answer the questions on them during the ride and finish the filming. After that, this portion would be cut out as the trailer to attract viewers. There were 3 questions. Name 3 of your friend's good points. What's the biggest reward of being friends with the other party? What's the other party's flaw? The production crew wanted to use these few questions to show how the guests got along with each other, and help the audience understand them at the same time. There was no time limit on answering, as long as all the questions were answered by the time they reached the destination. Liu Jiwei and Sangwon-si were both looking at each other with 800 layers of filters, so of course all they could see were good points. The lady sitting in the front passenger seat was responsible for hosting the segment on the road and she couldn't take it anymore. She raised her hand and complained, "We clearly only asked for 3, I feel like the amount now has greatly limited your progress. Let's stop here and move on to the next question. Please tell us what the biggest reward of being friends with the other person is." Jiwei first. Liu Jiwei looked at Sangwon-si and smiled, the biggest reward is definitely having gotten a super good looking friend. Host, this is also considered. Liu Jiwei asked her to look at Sangwon-si, please look at our teacher Sang's face, if this is not considered a reason, then what can be considered a reason? The host looked at Sangwon-si, then said, "It is pretty reasonable." Sangwon-si chuckled. Liu Jiwei loved to praise her looks, but Sangwon-si did not expect that she would be the same even in front of the cameras. The host then turned the question to Sangwon-si, then what's Won-si's biggest reward? Sangwon-si did not need to think, dumplings. Liu Jiwei. Host. Sister, your answer is even more outrageous. Liu Jiwei was amused, being friends with me, the biggest reward is dumplings. Sangwon-si looked at her, your dumplings are delicious. Any filling you put in is delicious. Liu Jiwei was helpless, reaching out to rub her head. Seeing their actions, the host said, "It feels like you two are more like a pair of elder and younger sister." Sangwon-si looked mature, pretty and aloof, but when it came to Liu Jiwei, she had a hint of obedience in her actions. Although Liu Jiwei looked young, but her bearing was mature and she looked at ease being Sangwon-si's big sister. Liu Jiwei smiled, "But we are." The host laughed too, moving on to the next question, what is the other person's flaw? Then she emphasized, you cannot say there's no flaw. Think about it seriously, it's to let the audience get to know you two better. After that was said, it would be too disappointing to say there was no flaw. The worst thing to do on a variety show was to be disappointing. The two of them immediately bit back the "there is no flaw" that was on the tip of their tongues. Thinking about it, Liu Jiwei went first. She does not know how good she is. Sang Wansi turned around to look at her doubtfully. Liu Jiwei looked calmly at the host in the front seat. Because she cannot see how excellent she is, she feels like she's ordinary, so she lacks confidence sometimes. Hearing that, the host was surprised. From Sang Wansi's debut until now, her professional capability had always been very strong, as if she had been born with this excellence. Lacks confidence was a term that did not seem to have anything to do with her at all. Liu Jiwei smiled. Actually, everybody lacks confidence sometimes, it is pretty normal. She turned to look into Sang Wansi's eyes, her tone serious, but I hope you can continue to see your own excellence, and throw this lack of confidence away so you can shine like a star from now on. She patted Sang Wansi's hand, her eyes curving in a smile as her tone lightened. Our Wansi is already very awesome and incredible, you can be more arrogant. The host asked Sang Wansi the same question. Sang Wansi's eyes stayed on Liu Jiwei, not moving away. A flaw? Did Liu Jiwei have a flaw? She did. Liu Jiwei was not very confident either. And she would neglect herself to take care of others. She would endure hardships and grievances but not say anything. But those were not problems anymore. With her around, Liu Jiwei was changing and starting to open up. So what she wanted to say was another flaw. She stared at Liu Jiwei, her red lips parting as she said, Liu Jiwei is not very smart. If you were smart, how would you have gone so long without figuring out how much I like you? Liu Jiwei was so dumb. Liu Jiwei. How was she not smart? As she was about to ask, Sang Wansi suddenly leaned in a little, her eyes clear as she asked, is this considered arrogant? It was irresistible. Liu Jiwei paused, then laughed. Host. Your arrogance is calling her by her full name. Liu Jiwei smiled helplessly while sighing, lifting a hand to pinch her face. This kid, you are really? Sang Wansi asked curiously, really what? Liu Jiwei was honest, cute, super duper cute. Baby Sang. You too, Sang Wansi copied her. Baby Liu. Host. Can I ask, what sort of romance scene am I watching now? Why do I feel so much like paying after watching? Are we a friendship variety or a girlfriend variety? Forget it, as long as there's material and she can hand in her work tonight. It was already 6 p.m. when they got to the town. When everybody had arrived, the production crew gave each group a card. On it is a drawing of where you guys are going to be staying for the next few days, please follow the route drawn to find it. The assistant director said. Every team's route was different, it was meant to separate and limit communication between teams. Aside from leaving them the map and a videographer, the production crew didn't give them anything else. Basically, they had a lot of freedom. As long as there was material to film and it did not break the rules of the program, they could do whatever they wanted. Liu Jiwei placed the violin on top of her luggage and looked at the map with Sang Wansi. The route clearly showed that they had to cut through the town, and the town had everything. So they planned a little, deciding to eat in the town before they continued searching for the house. Let's go. Liu Jiwei smoothly and habitually held Sang Wansi's hand, as if she was afraid Sang Wansi would get lost. It was an old tradition to pull your luggage and look for your house on me and my friend. As someone who had watched the show before, Liu Jiwei was familiar with it. Jin Manwen watched as Liu Jiwei walked away, holding on to Sang Wansi's hand. Envious, jealous, sour. She wanted to have Liu Jiwei hold her hand too. The days were long in summer, with the sky still bright even at 6 p.m. Walking towards the town, one could see the river meandering into town from afar. There were a few boats floating on the surface, with blue tiles and white walls, making it feel like an ancient town. What does Wansi want to eat? Anything, whatever's fine, you can decide. That line again, okay, then I will decide. Liu Jiwei found a fish porridge restaurant that looked good, bringing Sang Wansi in. The shop had not gotten busy yet, so the fish porridge came quickly. Sang Wansi did not forget to instruct Liu Jiwei, who was scared of pain, watch out, it is hot, eat after letting it cool down. Liu Jiwei obediently dished some out to a small bowl to let it cool, I know. Because the daughter of the store owner was a fan of Sang Wansi, they gave 2 plates of side dishes for free after Sang Wansi gave her an autograph. Liu Jiwei habitually pushed all the dishes closer to Sang Wansi. It looks like the 3 groups won't be living in the same area this time. Me and my friend's director was surnamed Mew too, but his personality totally didn't match his surname. His variety shows would always have unexpected elements, like this Me and My Friend. When Liu Jiwei was following it, there were times when the groups would all stay in an area together and there were other times when they would be separated. There was no fixed rule. This time, with 3 routes, it was most likely they would not be in the same area. Sang Wansi felt this was good. This way, Jin Manwen would not have a chance to disturb her Jiwei. They would then have more time to be alone. Even though there were cameras. She asked Liu Jiwei how her practice with the violin was coming along. Liu Jiwei reported her progress honestly. Sang Wansi nodded as she listened, we can continue progressing. Liu Jiwei poured a cup of tea and handed it over, teacher has worked hard. Then she ordered a bowl of porridge for the videographer, warmly saying, put the camera on the tripod and put it by the side, eat something first, it is my treat. After finishing the porridge, the 2 of them strolled along looking for it, not worried that they wouldn't be able to find the house. As long as they were not road idiots, they would definitely be able to find their house as long as they followed the route. If Jiao Jiao was the one who came, she would probably only be able to sleep in the park tonight. Liu Jiwei said as she pulled her luggage. Why? Because she is a bit of a road idiot. I see. But it is fine, she is cute. How is that related? It is not, I just feel she is cute haha. As Liu Jiwei talked, she also felt she was being too ridiculous and she couldn't help but laugh. Seeing it, Sang Wansi chuckled too, you're cute too. Baby Liu. She raised her hand, wanting to touch Liu Jiwei's face. But halfway, she recalled there was still a videographer following them, so she stuck out a finger and poked Liu Jiwei's face. It was smooth and bouncy, feeling nice to pinch. Very soft. She objectively reviewed. Seeing her like this, Liu Jiwei suddenly felt a little embarrassed, grabbing her hand and saying, naughty. Then she led Sang Wansi away. The production crew was arranging the interview material that the hosts brought back from the 3 groups. They decided to cut the teasers from the interviews and slowly release them, attracting more viewers to watch Me and My Friend. Director Mew was in relaxed clothes and held onto a cup of milk tea as he watched Wei Shibuletinwan's interview. This interview has plenty of contrast, warmth, and cuteness. Who would have thought that Sang Wansi could also be so cute and obedient? It would definitely be very attractive once it was released. At this point, the assistant director came over holding a phone. Director Mew, Sang Wansi and Liu Jiwei are on the hot search again. Director Mew bit the straw. He quickly took the phone and took a look. They had been walking in town and a tourist who had passed by had recognized them, taken a photo and posted it online, resulting in them getting on the hot search. The netizens were commenting below. At check now, are they filming my friend at authentic sand sculpture, standing proudly? Where did this couple come from? Why do they need to hold hands and be all couple? Why dog head? I like seeing it, give me more. At stars in your eyes, what is on Lulus luggage? A violin case. Is she going to perform the violin on the show? Damn it, I suddenly want to watch the actual show. At this must be a big, unfeeling knife at me and my friend. Hurry up, post the show tomorrow, I want to watch them date. No. Director Mew. Was this the natural hot search physique? It was too much. But we just started filming, where's the content going to come from? You guys are making it difficult for the show. He viciously sucked up a mouthful of bubble tea and decided, release their teaser first, we will have to work hard first and edit it as soon as possible. It would be best if it can be released tomorrow. It would be a waste if they did not take advantage of this free popularity. Sangwon C's mood suddenly wasn't very good. Because she saw Jin Manwen right beside them. She was happily waving towards Liu Jiwei. Sangwon C. Since they were all staying side by side, why did they have to draw 3 routes? Looking at the route of the map in her hand, then at the 3 houses side by side, she suddenly felt speechless. Director Mew, you truly are the person with the most tricks. After politely greeting the people to the left and right, the 2 of them entered the room and started to unpack. Before entering, Jin Manwen even enthusiastically said to Liu Jiwei, you can call for me anytime you need me. Sangwon Si led Liu Jiwei into the house and placed her hand on the doorknob, looking blandly at Jin Manwen, thanks. The door closed. With a trace of refusal. Jin Manwen. Damn it, this thanks was too piercing. Because the violin almost fell from the top of the luggage, Liu Jiwei didn't notice this exchange between them. She picked up the violin case and her attention was completely caught by a large object in the living room. She could not help but exclaim, there is actually a piano here. As if it was a fated encounter, catching her off guard. She turned to look at Sangwon Si, whose gaze landed for a second on the piano before moving away. Liu Jiwei asked, are you okay? Should we switch houses? We can discuss with Jin Manwen. Hearing that name, Sangwon Si said no need. She did not hate the piano that much, what she hated more was the love rival that was trying her hardest to get close to Liu Jiwei. Is there really no need? It is all right, go bathe, it is tiring after sitting in the car for the whole day. Okay, wait for me to familiarize myself with the environment. Okay. After taking a bath, the 2 of them could not sleep early because of the program, so Sangwon Si started teaching Liu Jiwei the violin again. Considering the fact it was at night, Liu Jiwei did not play the violin. Then after that, she was pulled by Sangwon Si to the sofa with a tablet in her hand. Sangwon Si sat with her legs crossed as she jerked her chin at the tablet, teacher Meng's lesson. Liu Jiwei couldn't help but laugh, you really want to watch it? Sangwon Si calmly replied, let us watch it. Her aunt's lesson, what could Jin Manwen see that she couldn't? Liu Jiwei could only look for Meng Lian's lesson. Strictly speaking, it was not really considered a lesson. It was just Meng Lianyu talking about her experience with some juniors and expressing her views on acting while she was a guest on a variety show. After that, someone had cut the footage and uploaded it onto a site for everybody to watch. Liu Jiwei opened the video and placed her tablet on the coffee table. The angle was a bit low. She took a few books from the shelf and placed it under, so she could watch the video comfortably with Sangwon Si. As they watched, Her phone rang with a notification. Jin Manwen had come again. She asked what Liu Jiwei was doing, and even sent a lot of cute expressions on WeChat. Discovering some new expression packs, Liu Jiwei added them to her collection. Teacher Sang, who didn't frequently send expressions to Liu Jiwei. She opened her own WeChat and looked at her pitiful expression pack collection. She hated love rivals who had a lot of expression packs. More to the point, she hated love rivals. And Liu Jiwei could not tell that Jin Manwen liked her. Forget it, Liu Jiwei could not even tell that Sang Wansi liked her. She wasn't smart at all. She decided to attack her love rival first. Liu Jiwei still has not fallen for her yet, a love rival now was a threat. Liu Jiwei took a photo of the tablet, sending it over. Then she heard Sang Wansi say, "Not enough. Jiwei, pass me the phone." Liu Jiwei blurrily passed the phone over. Sang Wansi took it, getting closer to her purposefully and hugging her waist, lifting up the phone to take a photo that looked as if they were very intimate. Liu Jiwei blinked, and the photo was sent out the next second. Sang Wansi returned the phone to her. "This way, she will not misunderstand that you're watching videos alone." Liu Jiwei. She clearly was fighting against Jin Manwen. How could she speak so uprightly? She looked at Sang Wansi blankly. A vague, indeterminable feeling suddenly rose in her heart. The person in front of her seemed to really care about her. More than the amount of care that normal friends would have. Jin Manwen immediately unlocked her phone the instant she received a reply. She received 2 photos. The first was of Meng Lian's video. The second was a selfie of Sang Wansi hugging Liu Jiwei. Jin Manwen. The extra photo at the back did not need to be sent, thank you.